Okay, you see, I've always maintained this ground that if if you want to build a nation, it is not enough for you to give the people education. Education is not enough to guarantee nation building. It doesn't suffice. Not at all. Check out the leaders we have today. They are shamefully messing around. A lot of them are highly educated. I know it is out there that most of our leaders are now educated, but that thing is not true. People believe that a lot of our leaders are not educated. It's not true. I know we get to see some of them from time to time who forged their certificates and all that, or did not pass WAEC and the person is a governor. We get to see those things, but I'm telling you, a bulk of them are highly educated, yet they are messing up tremendously. It speaks to the fact that education alone does not suffice in nation building. There are different things that you put together to create a nation. There are different elements that come together. There's education, there's entrepreneurship, but all these things, if you bring them together and you remove one thing that is very critical, you will still not have a nation. Without that thing, if you like, give people sophisticated education, give them capital to run into entrepreneurship and all that. At best, you will create intelligent demons, wealthy demons that will still run that society to the ground. Education does not suffice in nation building. Education alone. You must bring in patriotism. That's what builds a nation. Not just running on education alone. You look at the person's CV, educational background, you see the person, has gotten a lot of very good degrees. And we have a lot of them in leadership today. I am telling you the truth. The examples are so many. The former Senate President of Nigeria was a lecturer for years. Ahmed Lawan was a lecturer. He played in academics for years. He was in the academic circle for years. And he saw how education suffered tremendously as a result of the poor funding that comes from the government, as a result of neglect in government budgeting. Yet he broke into that sphere of politics and he rose to the apex, becoming Nigeria's Senate President, where he where a lot of influence and he could have used that influence to change the trajectory when it comes to education in this land. But you saw him sit down there for so many years while Buhari was president of Nigeria, and he would approve all the budget that Buhari presented before him in the National Assembly, which grossly underfunded education. A lecturer, somebody that used to be a lecturer for years, that knows what is on ground there in that sector. He rose to that level. His education did not tell him that he should speak up and tell the president to adjust the budget in such a way that education will be properly catered for. The educational needs of the people of Nigeria will be catered to. Did he not have the education? It shows you that education is not enough to produce. It is not enough to have a nation that serves the interest of humanity. It's not enough. It is not. And our society have become a place that a place that shows a gross absence of humanity. But if you had patriots, they would seek to see that the interest of humanity is served and not the interest of a select wicked oligarchy who benefit from who benefit, who receive the benefits that an entire population is supposed to enjoy. So, see, my friends, education on its own, standing alone, it does not, it doesn't suffice to create a nation. It's not enough to guarantee nation building. There are just too many examples. Can't you look at the people that have been speaking in favor of, or people who have been voicing support for the denial of something that has existed, a hydra-headed demon that has existed in this society for years, the genocidal killings, the targeting, careful targeting of Christians in this country. Can't you see the people who are voicing that? A lot of them are educated. Why is their education not stopping them from that crass attitude? Because education on its own cannot produce patriots. I'm telling you the truth. No, no. If you want to do nation building, core, the very critical element that you must bring and marinate it with the other elements near nation building is patriotism. If you remove it, like I said, and you just have education, you have entrepreneurship and the rest, at best you will have intelligent demons everywhere in your society ruining your, they will just form the ruling class that is a crass class ruining your society like we have in Nigeria today, where humanity has become grossly absent, where people seek to serve their interests and not the interest of the people, not the interest of humanity, just their interests. If we had patriots as leaders, they will be consistent with the truth always, not the ones who are blatant hypocrites. When they are not in government, they condemn a critical government policy that is meant to salvage the economy. They are not in government, they will condemn fuel subsidy. But when they get into government, they will implement fuel subsidy that they condemned and get you to praise them. So they did not care about the implementation of that policy, even though it was in there, just because they were not in government then. But then when they are in government, they no longer attack the policy. That's the life of a hypocrite. No, a patriot is consistent with the truth every year in, year out. No matter the number of years that have passed, you will see the person speaking just the truth, maintaining that stand. Candor is never absent in the mouth of a patriot. Never. It's not that when you are not in power, you you bend your mouth. When you're in power, you change your mind. No, that's not the life of a patriot. And we really need to have patriots as leaders if we're ever going to get out from the mess we have found ourselves in today. That is why we need to go back to this idea of embracing patriotism. And when I speak to the idea of patriotism, I'm not talking about the nonsense that some people have been parroting in the past days since they got the awakening call, which they are calling threats. That awakening call from the US president. A lot of them started parroting love for their nation. A shambolic pretense to being patriots, which they are not. So if somebody from the external circle did not speak up about something that is existing in your society, you will never come out as a patriot to say you have sovereignty and all that. No, if you are a patriot, you live as a patriot daily. It's a lifestyle. It's not a garb you put on a particular season. No, you wear it every single day of your life. It's a lifestyle. and we don't have leaders that live that lifestyle. What we have are hypocrites that change the color of their skins like wicked chameleons. That's what we have today. But we need to go back to the idea of patriotism. We need to embrace it as a nation. We need it to get out of this mess. And when I talk about it, I always think about the ones that are supposed to salvage this nation. The ones that are supposed to salvage this nation from where it is today, from the shackles that holds her today. And that's the youth of Nigeria. The youth of Nigeria are the ones that are supposed to liberate this nation from the slavery that this nation entered into again in the hands of this wicked selected few that rules Nigeria. We are meant to embrace patriotism and live it as a life, as a culture. The way the world have come today to see, we need to go and make patriotism our culture. It is when we have patriotism as our culture that we will see the truth and we say it, not minding our ethnic or religious background, because patriotism defies all that. It defies